All right, let's do this. Welcome to the Next Level Income Show, where our goal is to help you bring your income, your investments, and your life to the next level. I'm Chris Larson.
And I'm Caleb Wellborn. Today, our guest is Jesse Cole, owner of the Savannah Bananas baseball team and founder of Fans First Entertainment. Prior to Jesse bringing Bananas baseball to Historic Grayson Stadium in Savannah, Georgia, average attendance was around 250 fans per game. With his fresh new approach, Jesse took that to over 4,000 fans per game, selling out every game for 2 straight seasons, and they now have a waiting list in the thousands for tickets, which I'm on. The Bananas have been awarded Organization of the Year, Entrepreneur of the Year, Business of the Year, and won the Coastal Plains League Championship in their first year. Fans First Entertainment has been featured on the Inc. 5000 list as one of the fastest growing companies in America. Jesse's teams have welcomed more than 1 million fans to their ballparks and have been featured on MSNBC, CNN, and ESPN. Jesse, thank you for joining us on the show.
I'm fired up today, guys. I mean, you're both wearing Savannah Bananas shirts. This is the first time ever been interviewed by people wearing the shirts. You guys, I'm ready. This is going to be amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us, Jesse. You have a really cool story. I was watching, you guys have about a 20-minute video on your website, which is for any fans listening or any of the audience members listening, go on Jesse's website. We'll share it in the show notes and at the end of the show here, so you can take a look at that. But for those that haven't seen that, Jesse, do you mind sharing a little bit about your path from being with the Grizzlies and then ultimately where you are today?
Of course. And that's something we've learned about sharing our story. You know, I believe every brand needs to share their story more, whether it's video form, whether it's speaking, because that gives people permission to engage in the brand. And I believe people buy from the people behind the business, not just necessarily the business. So thank you for seeing that documentary video. We had our internal videographer put that together. So my story is a little crazy. You know, basically I started working for a baseball team at 23 years old. It was the worst performing team in the country in Gastonia, North Carolina, not too far from you guys. Yeah. And, you know, I realized there that, you know, we couldn't be in the baseball business. The team was there for 7 years and was failing. No one was coming to games. It was $268 in the bank account my first day. I mean, it was bad. And so, you know, I realized that we had to be something fun. We had to create something different that people would talk about. And, you know, I believe the best marketing is when people are talking about you. What is that word of mouth marketing? And so we decided to go all in on creating a show. And so back in when I was 23 years old in Gastonia, we started having dancing players, grandma beauty pageants. We started doing donut burgers, donut dogs. I mean, we once had a dig to China night where we actually buried a certificate in the infield dirt for a trip to China. And so we had hundreds of people on the field digging for this, but it was only a one-way trip to China. We weren't getting you accommodations and we weren't getting you back. All right. It was just dig to China night. So we started doing these outrageous things and people started talking and they started coming to the ballpark. And it was there that I didn't know it at the point, but I was learning about, you know, marketing and learning about creating attention. And then most of all, learning about the customer experience. And I think that is really what's taken us to another level. Yes, we do wild things and have a breakdancing first base coach here in Savannah, Georgia now. And yes, we have our Banana Nanas and senior citizen dance team. And then this year, guys, the Mananas, which is going to be the first ever male cheerleading team, which is going to be really dangerous.
They're not wearing banana hammocks, are they?
You know, we've thought about that, but it is also family friendly. So we're going to balance that. But yeah, you know, so we do wild things, but again, it's so people come to the ballpark and say, you won't believe what I saw. And they leave the game saying, wow, what an experience. I had so much fun. Because so many times people go to a business and it's not remarkable. And again, what does remarkable mean? People are willing to remark about it. And so how are you creating that business? And that's what we've done. We've had a lot of luck and it's been a wild ride.
Awesome, man. So what moment did you realize, Jesse, that you couldn't be in the baseball business anymore? You had to be you had to market this and create a fun experience. Like, do you remember when that thought went through your head?
Yes, it was my first day in September, day one, when I was 23 years old. When you see the books and see that there's $268 in the bank account, and you have 3 full-time employees and payrolls on a Friday, and you realize that only 200 fans were coming to the games, and the team had lost $100,000 the previous year, there's no other options. Baseball wasn't working. And again, I believe every business needs to put themselves in the customer's shoes and say, what are the problems with the business, the industry you're in? Whether it's investments, whether it's real estate, whatever it is, like, what do customers hate? And it was proven in Gastonia, they weren't coming to the games. So they hated the product that was there. And I would argue that the product was baseball, which was long, slow, and boring. So we couldn't be that product. And I think so many people are focused on their competition playing the same game. Everyone's focused on wins and losses. They were focused on the baseball players. We couldn't win that game. We were a college summer team in Gastonia. We couldn't compete with the Braves, the Red Sox. We weren't going to be the best baseball in the world. But what could we be the best at? And we believe that could be the show and the entertainment. And I think it's what game are you playing? And when you start focusing on your competition and start focusing on this thing you can be the best at, it's a game changer. So it was that day one, I said, we didn't have a choice. We couldn't pay anybody. I didn't pay myself the first 3 months. My roommate and I used to joke. I had a roommate back then. And he said, we looked at it like a video game. He said, so how many points are you owed right now? And I was like, I think 10,000 points. Like we were, because dollars just hurt too much. So we were actually keeping track of points because that's where it was. So we had to reinvent and make it about the show.
Yeah, and that's a true entrepreneur, right? Pay yourself last, Jesse. And,
but it goes against the model of one of my greatest friends in the industry, Mike McAllowitz, in Profit First. And really,
right, yeah.
But now it's about how do you really put your business in a position that you are making sure you get paid so the business can actually be successful. So back then, yes. Now I'm trying to revert it and say, you know what, take care of yourself, take care of your people, and then the business will follow suit.
So you talked a bit about the customer experience. Could you walk through what that experience looks like on an average night at a Bananas baseball game? Because I liked what your president of the team, Jared, said in his interview about how they try to make, or you guys try to make every night like opening night because it's someone's opening night. They've never been there before. So what can someone expect from when they're pulling up to the stadium to the time when they leave the game?
Well, every game's someone's first game. And we talk about that in our Fans First playbook. And same thing with any business. Every day there's someone having their first interaction with your business. And are you showing up? Are you treating it like it's showtime, like it is their opening day? So for us, we map the experience. It starts with you go on the website. We're very clear. We make baseball fun. This is what we do. And now, if you remember when you joined the priority list, Caleb, was it a normal email or was it something kind of unique and fun?
Yeah, it was fun. And right. I even got a personal call, whenever I ordered the t-shirts that Chris and I are wearing right now.
There you go. It's because it's mapping the experience. And then on Monday, when you're on the priority list and you're buying tickets, you will get a video of us actually celebrating your order. It's all about how do you create that before you actually even experience your product. Many people don't think they experience the product till they actually have bought something and they're actually there. No, it starts that first interaction. So we map that. So you've got a call. You got your merchandise. When it was sent, it was probably in a yellow box with the stamp that delivered fresh. All right.
Oh yeah, it showed up super fast too.
And there was probably
a koozie in it that I use all the time now, and stickers, and yeah.
So it's those attention to detail. So now when you come to the ballpark this summer, I'm pumped. You're coming out. Hopefully the first thing you'll see is our parking penguins. Because how many times do you go to a parking lot and you don't even get it's nothing? We're going to have people dressed up like penguins going like this, guiding you there. And now for people that have families, the parking penguins will handing out Freezy Pops to little kids as they're walking in. So then the next thing you'll see is our players in full uniform passing out programs, signing autographs. Then you'll see our pep band playing out and our DJ, which this year we're trying to get a DJ on wheels, call him DJ Peels on wheels, and actually rolling around playing music, bringing the energy. And then your tickets are shaped like bananas, and we're going to rip them with people that are dressed in banana costumes. That's all before you actually get into the stadium. And I challenge most companies, they don't map the experience from the beginning to the end. And it's just those little details. When it rains, when it rains, we have more fun than anything. People think rain, that's terrible for a ballpark. No, that's when we can put on even a better show. And we'll literally, we have a different script for rainouts. And also we have all the players and staff lined up with umbrellas to walk people to their cars when they're leaving. It's just those tiny attention details. And it sounds, it's really easy in a sports event. And you can do this in any type of business. You just need to think, what are those things that allow people that they'll go home and say, wow, that was an amazing experience. And many businesses don't think like that.
Oh, I love it. You talk about Fans First. I want you to dive a little bit deeper into that. And I want to circle back on something. I'm kind of, one of our early guests on the show, Richard Wilson, talks about like finding a niche and dominating it. And instead of going out and, he talks about catching fish. He says, don't go try to catch the fish. Stand in the waterfall and let the fish jump into your mouth. So, and I hear a lot of the same things coming from you, Jesse. Would you mind, digging a little deeper into Fans First? And then another thing in one of the interviews I either read or saw, it said Jesse Cole threw out the marketing book and totally rewrote it. So can you share about Fans First and other principles that you've used that our audience can kind of say, okay, the experience before you get it. That's a great one. What else would you recommend?
How can you simplify who you are and what you stand for? Whoever says the most in the least amount of words wins. And so we think of all these businesses. Oh, our mission statement is this. 90% of employees don't even know what it is. All right. We try to keep it so simple. And we stumbled across this. Guys, I wish we knew these answers in the beginning, but I knew it was so hard to share what we do and what we stand for. So on the outside, our concept is very simple. It's a circus and a baseball game will break out. Because when people think of a circus, that's what they think of with us. That's great. We don't want them thinking of baseball. And that's why we get compared to the Globetrotters, to baseball, all those kind of things. Circus and baseball game. But internally, everything is about fans first. And to simplify that, the name of our company is Fans First Entertainment. Our mission is fans first, entertain always. Every decision we make, it goes through the filter. Is it fans first? So for instance, it's very clear. Will we spend that money? Well, is that a better fan experience? Is it fans first? And so this is how we teach everything in our organization. And we have a fans first playbook, which has all of our beliefs that we share with our team. And so we talk about this every day. On Fridays, our front office staff sends an email and says, what is one thing they did this week that was fans first? And what was something they saw someone else on the staff do that was fans first? It's talked about over and over again. And I challenge most businesses, they don't talk about their mission and what they stand for over and over again. It's something that's a passing by. It's like, it's on the wall somewhere. So for us, it's very clear. Like we think about, all right, how are the tickets delivered? Okay, how do people walk in the stadium? What about the lines? Like, for instance, this year, we're hiring a high five character. Literally someone that the jersey on the back will say hi as their last name and number 5. And they are going to go around the stadium and their sole role is to high five every single person in the ballpark. Now, when people are in the concession lines, you're going to see the high fiver coming through, just high fiving you. All right. We are investing that money to pay someone for the whole season because we think that will add to the experience because we believe that is fans first. And so you have to actually say it and live by it. And I know most companies, you guys, probably everyone else, have your core beliefs. But my question is, do you have stories that back up those core beliefs? And so everything that we do, how do we create these fans first moments? After every game, we come together as a staff at 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock, and everyone shares what was a fans first moment, a story that was created tonight that now we can share. We put that into our playbook. And that's how we build this over and over again, just talk about it nonstop.
I love it. And that's Southwest, the CEO of Southwest, used to say he'd get these requests from customers and employees. And he said, is it fun? Does it make money?
Yes.
They were the low cost provider, and he had them up on the wall. And it's great. Like we should all have a simple filter, like you say, Jesse. It's fantastic to do that. It keeps things simple. It's best for the customers. I love it.
Well, people can't remember when we hire someone the first day, we might have someone come in halfway through the season and we say, what does fans first mean to you? Without even telling them, they have to explain it. Now, our hiring process, you have to do a video cover letter. You have to do a future resume. You have to do a fans first essay on how you hit our core beliefs. So it's in depth. We actually did a post the other day, who should not work for our company. We did literally wrote an ad that do not apply for this job because we are trying to get very narrow into people that are fans first. But you got to start from the beginning. What do you stand for? Who are you? And make sure everyone knows that.
That's cool. Well, your message is getting out there. Chris, the other day, I think bumped into someone in like an airport or something that he knew.
I was in Winston-Salem. I was about to order dinner and was talking to somebody, and they said they were from Savannah, and I said, "Oh, we're about to interview a guy from the Savannah Bananas," and she said, "Oh, my son is would love to go work for them," and she's like, "They sell out every game." She was telling me your story. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's great. Well, that's again, 2/3 of all marketing today is happening without you. It's happening from your customers. And one of the best marketing books now is Marketing Rebellion by Mark Schaefer, and he shares all this. So again, someone was sharing, they sell out their games. They're a lot of fun. We're not sharing that. But the only way people and customers will share that is if you give an experience that demands that they share it, that delivers on that. And so that's what we're trying to do.
Man, that's so true. I tell people all the time when they're asking me marketing advice, I say, focus more on getting other people talking about you rather than you talking about yourself all the time. Because what other people are saying about you matters a whole lot more than what you're saying about yourself. So it sounds like you're following that exactly. Yeah. Could you share with us some of your favorite events that have happened during the game? Because before you were kind of talking about the entry process and all of that, but I've heard and seen videos of just some of the crazy antics that go on with the players even during the game. Can you talk a bit about that?
Well, again, in our whole process to be the only, what can we be the only one doing? We think about that. So, in a given game, the players will not only dance from Britney Spears to Beyonce, they'll also deliver roses to little girls in the crowd. Every game. They'll do conga lines through the crowd. They will actually go on dates with fans. We've set up dates, and then we have our pep band with a saxophone serenade them while a player is on a date with an older woman in the middle of the game in the grandstand. All right. So we think about these things, but we put the fans through a roller coaster. I think a lot of people think about putting on a show for their fans, but they don't think, how can they actually be a part of the show? So to give you an example, in the first inning, we always do a sing-off, where I get in the metal bleachers with about 1,000 fans, and then we have someone else in the main grandstand, and we do a sing-off. So we'll play a song, Living on a Prayer, and then we stop it, and then we have 4,000 people singing against each other to see who's winning. Imagine you're at a stadium where 4,000 people are singing Bon Jovi, and they're doing a contest. And then we do things like Hey Baby, where it's a dance where everyone's doing it. 4,000 people, whether you're 6 years old or you're 60, you're dancing in the middle of the game. We want people to be feel like they're escaping and they're a part of something. Today, we're so on social media, or we're so just watching something. We're a spectator. We don't want people to be a spectator at a game. We want them to be a part of the show. And so we imagine that experience all the way through. We do a special military read where we we thank every single serviceman during the game and really give a tribute to every single person. It's this roller coaster. So yes, we give away Porta-Johns during our games. We've given away colon cleansings at our games. The Banana Nanas will dance. I mean, it's wild. The Banana Nanas will dance during our games. I mean, we just made a deal with Segways. So we're going to have different things happen with Segways during games. I'll just leave it at that. We're always thinking about, whoa, what is happening right now? And then you go home and say, I can't believe it. So that's a teaser. It's really hard to describe. That's why we say it's a circus and a baseball game breaks out, because you'll never know what's going to happen when you come to a ballpark.
That's amazing. So you had talked a bit on another podcast. I think it might have been Mike Dillard's podcast about, you said you couldn't say it yet, but remember this probably won't come out until late May or June, most likely. And you were talking about a way you're going to make the game of baseball faster, and how you had run a scrimmage with the players, and they said it was the most fun they've ever had. Knowing that this isn't going to come out and your secret's safe with us would you be able to share that, or is that still?
It's funny. I'm usually an open book with everything, but I realize to an extent, my wife's like, Jesse, you just say everything. And some things we don't actually do all out. You can't keep saying that. So so basically what we're doing is the games now are 3 hours long in baseball. So we have been testing, how do you make a game an hour and a half, 2 hours? And how do you do it without actually changing the fundamentals of the game? And so I wish I could go into more depth, but we're realizing there's a problem, and then how do you make it nonstop? So what could do, think about all the stops in baseball. How could you eliminate those? All right. How could the scoring be a little different, where it's not just, hey, a 12-7 game and one team scores 6 runs every inning? So we look at those little details on how we can make it better. So I wish I could give you more, but right now I probably can't give that much.
So Jesse, you guys are a summer college league. Here in Asheville, we have the Asheville Tourists, which are a minor league team. Can you talk about two things? One, the structure of, where summer college league fits into kind of the minor league structure. And then how long have you been wearing that yellow suit and top hat?
All right. It's where we stand. There's Major League here. There's Triple A here. There's Double A here. There's High A here. There's Regular A here. There's Low A here. There's Rookie Ball here. There's Top Level Independent Ball here. There's Top Level College here. And then there's us right down here at College Summer.
You're off the screen down there, man.
That's where we are.
You sound like the guy from Moneyball talking about the different levels of budgets for.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. No, we're down here. And I think that's why we realized that we couldn't play just the game of baseball and compete with them, because it's not the best level of baseball. I will share, I'll share a really interesting study with the baseball and performance if you're interested. It just came out a few days ago. So I've always been saying that our players play better because of the atmosphere at the ballpark. You look at the records, and the Bananas always have the best home record. We've won championships. And I don't think we have the best, most talented players in the world. We have good players, but we don't have the most talented players. We just have good guys, but they play better. So I always say this, and I was speaking at Georgia Southern, and the professor goes, that can't be true. I got to study this. So he spent 6 weeks and did a study on the statistics of all players, Division I, that played for the Savannah Bananas in all 3 of our seasons, and then of every player in the Coastal Plain League that played the last 3 seasons. And he studied OPS, the on-base percentage, slugging percentage, to be the most hitting statistic. He goes, the correlations came out. And the other teams, you have to be under 0.05 to be a strong correlation. I guess that's statistical. All right, you're familiar with that. That all the other teams were like 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. And then the Savannah Bananas were 0.022. And he's like, no, let's do this again. So then he checked K through walk ratio. It was 0.018. And then he tested attendance in the correlation, and it was even stronger. And basically what he found that it's proven, if you wear a Savannah Bananas uniform and you play in a better atmosphere, a better culture, a better environment, you will actually perform better. And it was staggering to have this study come out. But again, I think it just goes into to say like how important culture is and how it increases performance. And I think everyone should take something like, what is the atmosphere you're providing, and see how that pays dividends and then some. Because we win more games because of the culture and the atmosphere, not because of the talent.
Yeah, look, so I've spent 15 years in the medical sales arena, medical device sales arena, Jesse. And so I'm always reading about sales, helping the team, figuring out how to do things. Happier sales reps are 50% more successful.
Game changer.
And now is it correlative, is it causative? But if you're in a better mood, you're having a good time, these things, I think they make a massive difference in performance. Caleb and I were both competitive cyclists. And I'll tell you what, if I had, and maybe it's just me, but if I had family and friends there and I looked at my wins versus other events, and again, not scientific, N only equals 1 in this event, but I did significantly better. I mean, you just, when you're all on the same page, when you're happy, your fans are there. We live in Asheville, a pretty like little cosmic place. Maybe everybody's sending good waves to you. Who knows? But I love it. That's a great study.
So to answer what you're saying, obviously we are the lowest level of baseball, but we play up. We play up because of the atmosphere, the culture. And then my yellow tux, I've been wearing this for years, and it's this is my uniform. So for instance, where I played baseball back in the day, you put on a uniform, it's game time. I put on this yellow tux, it's showtime. I wear it every day. And I believe you're always on stage, and I believe you need to bring the energy. And this is my thing. And I think everyone has that. They have something that makes them stand out. So going into that culture environment, like this is me on stage, and I hope that I deliver that to our people, to our fans, to our customers, everyone that we interact with. And then that builds them up as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And in athletics as well as business, whether you're on a team or you're working for a business, if the management structure that's in place does provide that good environment and it's people there that you don't want to let down, you're going to push yourself harder, whether it's in work or in athletics.
We as leaders need to care more for our people as people than as what they can do for our business and as employees. We are we love him because he brings business to us. Well, what about if doesn't work for you? Do you love him the same way? And that needs to change. We need to care for our people as people. And that's part of Fans First. The secret, our biggest fans are our own people, are the people that work with us. So we put them actually first ahead of other people. So that goes into more culture and experience, but behind this crazy yellow suit, behind the dancing players and everything, that's really who we are and what we stand for. And that's what we talk about all the time.
Jesse, that's gold, man. We were talking before the show, why have you on a show like this? That's why, audience, that's why Jesse's on the show. Jesse, you started your career in baseball at 23. Is that right?
Yep.
If you could go back in time, 10 or so years and give your 25-year-old self some advice, what would it be?
I've been asked that a lot. And you know what? I think if you look at all of them, I'd give myself lots of different advice. It's like, you said this a few years ago. It depends on where I am in my journey. But sure. I always go back to investing in myself. I think I started reading everything I could to learn, but investing more in relationships, investing more in connecting. I was doing a lot on my own, trying to figure it out, which it takes time. But I would invest in myself, and I would really try to say, all right, who can I spend time with? Who can I invest in these relationships? That's where I would go back. And then I guess more than anything, realize it's not about me. I mean, here's the reality. When I was 23, I was trying to build myself up, go from a GM, go to an owner, get as much media as possible. But I share this in the back of our Fans First playbook. Be patient in what you want for yourself, but be impatient in how much you give to others.
Well, I like that.
So that's really changed for me, is that I'm trying to think, whether we're here right now, whatever, how much can I give in that 30 minutes or an hour? How much can I give to our team? And then everything else takes care of itself. So I think going back, investing in myself and really focusing on others, I would have gone all in on that.
I love that. We talk about in my book called Next Level Income, I talk about how real estate investing is a team sport. I mean, life's a team sport. Mm-hmm. It's all about connections and how you can help other people. And I was it Zig Ziglar said, the more people you help, the more money you make. And it's more than that. It provides happiness. It provides the juice of life. So
100%.
Really,
if you help people get what they want, you get what you want or something.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's probably easy for people to look and say, oh, they were an overnight success or something, especially because you literally overnight got national media attention when you announced the new name. You guys can watch the documentary about them that they have on their website and you'll see what I mean. But you've been pretty open in sharing there were some really hard times along the way. Could you share like one of the biggest challenges you had in building what you've created and how you overcame it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Just a little over 3 years ago, January 15th, 2016, we were in Savannah for 4 years. We sold one ticket in our first 2 months. So no one believed us. They were like, who are these guys? College summer baseball. And, January 15th, 2016, got the phone call. We overdrafted our account. We had no money left. And my wife and I didn't know what to do. She turned to me and said, we have to sell our house. We sold our dream house. We had this amazing house in Charlotte that we loved, that we built up to save. And we had to sell that. And we emptied out our savings account, put it into the team, and got the nastiest place you could ever imagine and put on an airbed and started living there. And that was just a little over 3 years ago. It was a challenge. It was a real challenge because people didn't believe in what we were until we created the attention of the Savannah Bananas and all the shenanigans. Then they were like, oh, who are these guys? This is who they are and what they stand for. But that was hard. And the thing is, I realized that'll happen again. Because if you aren't taking chances, if you're playing it too safe, you end up like all those other businesses that are in the business cemetery, the Toys R Us's, the Sears, the Blockbusters, you can keep going. You have to constantly reinvent. And so I always get nervous that get complacent. And complacency is a fear for me. So I went through that. We'll go through it again. There'll be challenges. And I think that's what makes life fun. And you need to enjoy and embrace the journey and the challenges. Many people don't do that.
So yeah, you were talking about growth and taking chances and all of that. And one thing I was trying to understand through some of my research was you also own the Grizzlies, correct? Through Fans First Entertainment?
We recently sold them. Yes.
Oh, you sold them. Okay.
Yes. Well, and I'll share that briefly. I mean, we built that up for 12, 13 years. And as you were talking about before, doing all these different things and trying to niche down, we, between having a family, I have a young infant now turning 1, awesome. and literally Savannah got so big that if you do so many things, you're juggling. And so for us, we realized it was best for us and everyone to sell that franchise that we built up to a high level and focus all in on our family in Savannah. So that's what we're doing now. We sold that about a year ago.
Okay, very cool. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. And where would you say you'd want it to be in 10 years? Fans First Entertainment.
I wish I could look that far down the road. I opened my book, Find Your Yellow Tux, with my eulogy, and actually started with my eulogy about how I want to be remembered and the impact I want to make. But, I don't really think necessarily about the business and where we're going to be 10 years. It's evolving too much. You need to love your customers more than you love your product. And I think if you love your product so much, you may answer that question and say, this is where our product will be in 5 or 10. We're following where our customers want to go. If our customers keep having challenges with baseball, we may be something dramatically different to put on that experience. So that's what we're following. So I'll tell you what I'd love to do. I'd love to keep putting on a show all over the world. I'd like to take it to numerous places and let people experience it. But what does that look like? We'll see.
So Jesse, you just mentioned your book, Find Your Yellow Tux. Mm-hmm. So if the audience wants to get the book, they want to learn more about the Savannah Bananas, they want to get on the list to get tickets, what's the best way to get in touch to learn more about you guys?
I was told the other day that someone could just search Yellow Tux and you'll find me all over the Google, which is hilarious.
Done. All right, good.
Keep it simple. Find Your Yellow Tux, how to be successful by standing out. I share the journey. You can find that on Amazon, my website, Find Your Yellow Tux. But Savannah Bananas, just search that, watch some videos as you guys shared. And I never want to go out. We're never trying to sell people. We just want people to engage and be a part and help people. So I'll never forget when I was 25 years old, I sent an email to Mark Cuban and said, your book changed my viewpoint on everything. He wrote back within 2 hours.
Wow.
And I've really tried to live that way. If people reach out, Caleb, if you reach out, anybody reaches out, I will engage because these people helped me along the way. And I want to give it back and help. So if you just reach out, I post every day on LinkedIn. I post every day on social. Just reach out, send a message. I'd love to help in any way.
Awesome, Jesse. And yeah, we really appreciate you taking the time to be on the show today. I was looking forward to it since like the day you said you would be on it. I was like, oh man, so pumped. So really appreciate it. And wish you the best for the future. And I'm excited to go to a Bananas game this summer.
Well, thank you. Oh, we're going to put on a show. Just get mentally prepared. All right. Just you have to like give yourself some time to understand what's about to happen. But seriously, guys, thank you. First time ever, banana shirts, having fun with us, rocking it. Seriously appreciate you and what you're doing. So thank you.
Absolutely, man. We broke uniform for the first time for you, but no, it's been a lot of fun, Jesse. I think what we try to do on the show aligns very much with what you were just saying. So enjoy your weekend and look forward to meeting you in person and seeing that yellow tux face to face.
100%. Thanks so much, guys.